Okay, I heard no sound, so let's start this again. Welcome to the stream. It's Wednesday night. It's time for Transformers Earth Wars news, and okay, man. So yeah, little glitch there. I got home a little late, so it was a rush to try to get this all set up, and I was a couple minutes late, but we're here now. So yeah, as always, Wednesday night we take a look at the news that came out for Transformers Earth Wars. We've got the details for this coming weekend's event. We've also got information about the new Prime Core coming you may have heard about already, and a closer look at the two new combiners, Victorion and Menasor. So I gave some shout outs to everybody. I forget who I said, but I see Jake, I see Red Alert, Zachary Couture, Tyler YT, SS Destron, Monty, and Jeff Cole, Sharksy, a lot of people. I'm sorry if I missed you, but welcome. Let's go ahead and get to the news, right? Okay, so first off, as always, Ba Weep Grana Weep Ninibong. New and big things are on the horizon. See all info about the mighty new combiners Victorion and Menasor in this newsletter, and hear more about them in this week's live stream with Simon Furman, Transformers legend. He did a lot of writing in the G1 comics, as well as some of the recent IDW comics, and even the Beast Wars television series. That man knows his Transformers, and he's responsible for a lot of things that we hold near and dear to our hearts as Transformers fans. So, like we said before, the new core coming is the Alchemist Prime core. It is capable of transmuting metal and altering elemental properties. The Alchemist Prime core, easy for me to say, right? It can turn creation into destruction, and vice versa. Equip a bot with the Alchemist Prime core to heal them with every point of damage they inflict. Okay, so there will be a little bit more about the Prime Core coming, and I didn't see any other event name, so I guess maybe the new core Alchemist Prime is the event. But it is an individual event, as we typically find after a grinded out leaderboard event. There are 10 prestiges, just 10, and yes, this has been confirmed, it is just 10 prestiges, but up to triple XP. Obviously you can see the in-game for the exact values. Typically the triple XP is up around zone 11 or 12 or so, and but it is definitely more than double throughout all of the zones. You got to be headquarters 4, tap the event button. You guys know how to do this by now. It is a flat event, up to 10 points per zone. I find that it averages about 9 points as you do a bunch, because you're going to have a few 8s thrown in there. Most of them will be 9. Occasionally you'll get some 10s. And so here's the prizes for each of your prestiges. Only 50 points per prestige, so it's going to be a pretty quick event, although there's a tip where you might be able to prolong this a little bit to take advantage of the XP, if not get more prizes. But it's all about Prime Core shards and Spark this event. If you add it all up, there is 2,500 Prime Core shards available, so about half of a Prime Core chip is available this weekend. So you're not going to be able to complete an entire Prime Core this weekend unless you happen to fall a little short the last time we had a Prime Core event, and had more than 2,500. So if you happen to score more than 2,500 and you got that much sitting in your space bridge right now, you have the chance to get yourself a prime core this weekend. So because it does take 5,000 prime core chips to get or shards to get a prime core. And of course there's lots of spark, 1,500 spark, so 15,000 spark available across the entire event, 1,500 per prestige. Okay, so here's a little bit more information about that Alchemist Prime core. So why would Prime Core shards be an event if there weren't a new Prime Core up for grabs as well? Joining to our first batch of the 3 Prime Cores is the first new release, the Alchemist Prime Core. Now obviously the first 3 were the Liege Maximo, which allowed you to hack the outpost bots, the Micronus Core, which allowed you to heal the bots around you, and the popular Megatronus Core, which set your bot on fire and would deal fire damage to anything that it touched. But this one is the Alchemist Prime Core, and all of your attacks heal you for a percentage of the damage that bot does. The little more about it, the lifesteal granted by the Alchemist Prime Core affects all damage sources from the bot you attach it to, including damage from abilities. This will make for some interesting combinations. Maybe give it to your favorite warrior to make him even tankier. Is that a word? I guess so. Or to your bot with the highest ability damage, so you can top off their health after being under fire while wreaking havoc at the same time. The choice will be yours once you unlock this new power core. So this would definitely be a good one for any bot that does a serious amount of damage. For example, Star Saber or Deathsaurus, this would be a great core for one of those guys because they can deal a ton of damage. Jazz or Mixmaster would be another good one. I saw somebody say Skyburst. Skyburst is another good one that does a lot of damage, and believe it or not, Power Glide actually does a lot of damage too, even though he's not the most popular bot. And Cyclonus for the Decepticons, of course. Chris Johnson, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. And yeah, and let's see, William Norton is saying he hopes there's shards in a future event. I agree, man, because even completing this event with the 2,500, I'm still going to be short of a Prime Core. So I definitely hope there'll be some more coming forthwith. I don't know if I'd use that right. Anyway, so yes, time to talk about the combiners, the new combiners, Victorion and Menasor. It's been a while since we saw those new combiners hit the stage, but soon you'll get your first chance to take Victorion and Menasor into the battlefield. If you've not seen the brand new trailer yet, definitely go check it out by clicking the image above. But you know what? I'm going to actually help you guys out. We're actually going to take a look at it right now. Once I get everything all set up and clicked over to the proper place. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to be quiet for a second so you can take in the glory that is this new trailer. There you go, coming on April 20th. Oh, I hit it again. Oh, we're actually going to need to go back to the photos here. So there you go. That is up on the Transformers Earth Wars YouTube channel. That's where we just saw it. It's also on their Facebook page. So go check it out. Watch it over and over again. I certainly have watched it multiple times. But man, that animation of Victorion coming together, it just doesn't get any better than that, does it? So yeah, and there we go. And here's a closer look at Victorion. This is a little bit of art that they threw out there. Looks pretty nice. You can see they've got her with the jump stream on the left arm and dust up on the right, and Skyburst and Stormclash on the legs. Not sure which one they chose to be on which side, because they did actually make, I believe, the two of them. Actually, it does look like they're a little different. If you look closely at the tail section, kind of near the knees, one is a little bit more green, one's a little bit more red. I just noticed that, and I hadn't noticed that difference in the game, so we'll have to see if we can get a closer look at that, so we can pick out who's on which leg. Alright, so, and also, of course, rust dust there is on the chest. Now, one thing I did like about what they've done here, if anybody's got the toy or has seen a toy, they actually did put rust dust on the chest the way that she was intended to be, with the windshield up. Where as opposed to where the way the toy ended up being designed, where it was more upside down, and it causes the Autobot to be... logo to be upside down. We'll take a closer look in a little bit when we get over there and take a look at the toys. Let's see. Alright, so now here's another closer look at Menasor. And you can see he's got dead end and drag strip for the arms, and breakneck and breakdown for the legs, and Motor Master for the torso. And he is looking mean. Very similar to how the Combiner Wars toy worked out, including the head, even though Motor Master is not the same as the Combiner Wars toy. So, alright, so people telling me that we got a YouTube chat is frozen. That's interesting. Okay, looks like it's going there. Not sure why that happens. It doesn't seem like it's anything on my side. So, alright, let's see. Alexander Rose, Razer Quake, good to see you, man. We talked about the event already. It's an individual event. So we just took a look at the Combiners. We took a look at the trailer for the Combiners. It's available on the Transformers Earth Wars YouTube and Facebook chat. So there are some questions with some answers about these new Combiners. Obviously, the first one people are asking, which bots do I need for the new Combiners? And we've covered this before. In fact, we just covered it just a moment ago. But here's a pictorial representation of what I just covered. You got Pyromagna, you got Skyburst, you got Stormclash, you got Dust Up, you got Jumpstream, and you got Rust Dust, all needed. That's 6 bots for the Autobots Combiner Victorion. Now the Decepticons, they only need 5. Motor Master, Dead End, Drag Strip, Breakneck, and Breakdown to form Menasor. And a lot of people were like, well, what's the deal? Why do the Autobots need 6? Why do the Decepticons need 5? And a couple of weeks ago, they actually gave their reasoning in the stream, and it's because Motor Master is such a new bot and was just available in a leaderboard. And actually... I'm not sure if he's even available in normal crystals yet. I'm going to go take a quick peek that you guys can't see in the game. And where is he? He's around here somewhere. There he is. And actually, we'll go ahead and... poke over here to the stream. You can see he's still only available in a Motor Master crystal. So Motor Master, as of the time of this recording, is not available in normal crystals. Therefore, it's harder for the Decepticons to even have all of the bots to form Menasor, and that's what their thinking was about why they'll make Menasor just a 5-bot combiner compared to the 6 for the Autobots in Victorion, because those ladies have been in the game since the very beginning. Now, as far as anybody who's just starting the game now, the disparity is a little, or later even, the disparity it's not as fair as, it's a poor word, but I know that's the one that people like to throw around. But as far as people have been playing for a very long time, this makes a lot of sense. So let's get back to the rest of the news here. Okay. Alright, so some more questions here. Do we need different sparks for those combiners? Yes, of course, we all knew this because we've already had 3 combiners so far. Just like all those other ones, you have to have the specific combiner spark that you get from the duplicates of the Rust Renegades or the Stunticons, which is why I am waiting to open up any of my crystals until next Friday, the 20th. I'm not opening up any more Autobot crystals. I'm even saving my free crystals because, you know, if I get a 1-star or a 2-star out of that free crystal of the Rust Renegades, then that's just that much little more spark. Even if it's 100 or 200 spark, it adds up. It really does add up. So I'm waiting to open up my crystals for then. I think I saw somebody saying, "Oh, open up your Decepticon crystals," and you know, I might just do that because you can't have the combiners for the opposite faction there. Okay, so people ask, apparently, can I switch between different combiners? Once it's activated, no. Once you activate a combiner, it is active for 15 minutes. And that's it. For 15 minutes, whether you do 1 battle, whether you can... I've gotten as many as 10, maybe 11 battles in the 15 minutes. It all depends on how quick you can actually get it done, but you could use it as many times as you want for that 15 minutes with no cooldown. But once you activate the one, you can't switch to another one until that 15 minutes is up. And they ask, well, what are the new combiner abilities? Well, there's 3 new abilities, and that's on the next page, next slide. The first one is the Blade Dash, where you actually we actually looked at these a few days ago. We'll look at them again here in case you missed that stream. You dash to a target and then slash it for heavy damage, and this is the icon for Victorion, and you can see that it actually matches the shape of her sword. And then this is the one for Menasor, and it matches the shape of his sword. So I think that's actually a pretty cool idea, and that's just a still image of it there. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and switch back over here to this, and we'll take a look at the Blade Dash. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you guys can watch it. This was actually posted, they shared this with a bunch of different fan sites over the weekend, and this one is from tfu.info. So you can see she smashes that build bot, targets that defense over there, just kind of jumps over there and slashes it with her sword and deals a heavy amount of damage. And we'll go ahead and just pause this right here. Let's see, which one did we have up here? This was the Transformers Earth Wars Addicts page. I think he's got the Blade Dash for Menasor, actually. So, by the way, if you want to go check out the Transformers Earth Wars Addicts Facebook page, I'm throwing a link up there in the chat. So here we go. He's got that mortar targeted, jumps over there, slash, 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 heavy damage, and that's pretty awesome. Let's get back over to our photos. So did that link work? Yes, it did. Very cool. I've got a new tool that I'm trying to use. The Stream Deck. If you do any YouTubing or streaming, you've probably heard of it. If not, it's pretty cool. I'm liking how it's working out. It's allowing me to share links like I just shared there. Okay, so where are we? Next one is the Kinetic Barrier. This is very similar to the Tantrum or Hotspot abilities. You spin your blade reflecting 75% of all the damage dealt to you, and then also reflecting it back and dealing damage to your nearby enemies. And so again, you can see the representation of Victorion's sword there and Menasor's sword here. And so let's go head back over and we'll take a look at this in action for Victorion. There it goes, look at that. Dealing the damage, sending it back. You can't hurt me. Boom. Alright, and one more. We'll go ahead and pause that there, get back to the photos, we'll talk about it. And this is pretty interesting. We saw the image of it before. It's called the Noble Sacrifice for Victorion and called Internal Conflict for Menasor. Here's the interesting thing though, you deal heavy damage and disable enemies over a large area. We saw that in the little clip that we saw, but you lose 20% of your maximum health. So you gotta use this wisely. And here's a kicker, and this is actually pretty cool. If you use it and this ability actually kills you, if you use your last 20% of health to use this ability, it will disable the entire base for 10 seconds. So that could actually be a very good strategy, is you just go ahead and get in here, use these combiners, kill them, smash them. Uh-oh, I'm about to die. Hit that noble sacrifice or internal conflict. Go deal a large amount of damage for one area, and meanwhile you disable the entire base. That's a game changer, guys. That is pretty cool, if you ask me. And so let's go ahead and jump back over here and let's go see that in action. Here is Victorion. She goes up in the air and then smash. And I don't know if you caught that, but let's actually roll this back a little bit. Oh, I'm in a playlist. So it actually jumped to the next one. Oh, okay, that's Menasor's Kinetic Barrier. So that's very much like the Victorion, except his little slashes are purple. Okay, so let's head back over here to look at this skill demonstration. Now, what I want you to do is look at the health of her. So you see that when she goes and does that, see how the health is going way down fast? So yeah, definitely doing some damage as she's doing the noble sacrifice. Okay, and the last thing we're going to cover in the news, as always, I like to plug the official Transformers Earth Wars live stream is going to be tomorrow. They're going to be talking about Victorion and Menasor. I have a feeling we're going to see the gameplay in the game and talking about the abilities since they just shared them here. They're also going to have Simon Furman in the studio talking about the new combiners, and that is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Universal Time, which is roughly about noon Eastern Time, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that does it for the news, so let's head on over here to the game. Actually, let's go ahead and look at the toys of these combiners since we're on the subject. So there we are. Obviously, we've got Victorion on the left here and Menasor on the right, as I just about pull my earpieces out. I tried to get his little shield up there on him, but it's just kind of hanging on with a piece of tape and it's not staying very well. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen off by now, and I do have Victorion a little out of configuration, where I have Skyburst and Stormclash on the arms and Dust Up and Jumpstream on the legs. That's because last night I did a review of Elita 1 and I put them in that configuration. I did not have time tonight before this one to actually reconfigure them back. But you know what, that's the beauty of these combiners and the Scramble City combiners, as we call them, is all of the limbs can be either arms or legs. And so I think that's really cool. And I go back and forth about whether I like Victorion with the helicopters as the arms or whether as the legs. I like the skinnier legs, but I think she actually looks really good with them as the arms too. And I actually went back and looked through her very first appearance back in the Combiner Hunters comic from IDW, and when they did it, they started off with the helicopters as the arms. Switch the chest piece around, Light Dragoon says. You mean Rust Dust? I would love to, but this is the only way that it actually fits on properly. The way that they designed the toy was actually upside down. In fact, I mentioned that before. If we can kind of come in and look, you can kind of see that the Autobot symbol is upside down. It's totally upside down, but that's the way that the toy is made for it to actually sit in there. And any attempt that I've actually done to try to have it flipped around to peg in properly, it just doesn't quite work right. And it was very disappointing on Defensor because it obviously is based on Hotspot and Groove, and it came over here to Victorion. I mean, you can get it on, it's just not nearly as secure as I'd like, because not only do the arms actually peg in, there's actually a peg where the body of Rust Dust pegs into the center of the chest, and that helps make it far more secure. But when you have flip it around, it's not as secure. You can get it done, but it falls off almost as bad as Blackjack does off of Menasor, and I prefer to keep Rust Dust attached. So, you know, so that's just the way it goes. So let's see. Let's go ahead. Okay, let's go into the game. And all right. So I was convinced. Connell Novak is reminding me. Suggested that we go open up the Decepticon crystals. So we will go in there. I've got 77 crystals here. Who's the left arm for Menasor? That's Dragstrip. Yeah, I think I did have him covered by Victorion's awesome sword. Okay, so these are my free crystals there. I did buy a Alchemist Prime bundle, so you can see some of the some Laser Optimus, Alchemist Prime, and who is this? Strafe, I think. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna wait on those because even though they're the bot-specific crystals, you could still get the Rust Renegades out of that, and I don't want to miss out on any Combiner Spark. All right, so I did get a 2-star crystal from the last event. So we're going to open up this 2-star Decepticon crystal, and we got a duplicate drag strip. And see, it's good that you can't get the combiners on the game, because I would have just missed out on some Combiner Spark here. But that's okay. But hey, look at that! I did get a 3 silver Rejuvenate core out of a 2-star bot, so that was actually a little bit of a bonus. All right, and these are VIP crystals that I've got. I've got 10 Decepticon premium crystals. So let's see if we get anything good out of them. All right, so we've got a duplicate Hunger. And we've got a duplicate Breakneck, another Stunticon jumping in and joining the show. Let's see, oh, Jake's asking the other one. You mean the arms for Menasor? Dragstrip was one. Dead End. Dead End is the other arm. Hey, speaking of Dragstrip, he heard his name called. So is that how that works? Who do I want? Megatron. No, it doesn't work. Darn. So we just got a duplicate Headstrong. Alright, so we got 6 more Decepticon crystals. Oh, I thought about it for a second. No, we got a duplicate Scrapper. Devastator is in the game, but again, being on my Autobot account, you don't get the Combiner Spark, so this just shows that I'm not missing out on any Combiner Spark on these Decepticon crystals, because I would have gotten this Devastator Spark with them. And speaking of Combiner bots, there's Vortex. Somebody earlier, I think in the stream, or maybe I read it somewhere else, is saying, with all these Combiners coming, how are we going to get normal Spark anymore? Because we're just going to be getting lots and lots of Combiner Spark, and so that's actually an interesting challenge. I have noticed that they are providing Spark more in the events. So hopefully that trend continues as we pull another duplicate Hunger. And another duplicate Breakneck. Alright, let's see. Do you know in Robots in Disguise, Off-Road, Breakneck, and Breakdown have other names? Heat Seeker, Slashmark, and Wild Break. Yeah, I did see 1 or 2 episodes of that, and they actually did give the Stunticons different names, didn't they? That's right about the time I quit watching it, just because other things came into my life, I suppose. Duplicate Octopunch. And we got 1 more Decepticon premium crystal. Thinking about it. Ooh, look at this. It's a new bot. New 3-star. And ooh, look at that. It's Armada Megatron. That's actually a pretty nice pull out of this premium crystal there. That's a nice one. Very cool. I'm gonna have to find a way to get him into my rotation. And ooh, apparently I've completed another crystal. I have a feeling this is a 3-star crystal. And yes, it is. I'm going to use it for my Decepticons and see if we can get another 3-star Decepticon. I've yet to get a 4-star Decepticon on this account, though. So We got one more crystal for you guys. The 3-star Decepticon crystal. It's a duplicate. It's a duplicate Octo Punch. I just got him, just one of my last 3 stars. Got a silver wallbuster core though, so that's pretty cool. And I'm going to exit out of here because that is all the crystals I'm going to open. But oh look, we've got a story. I have no idea what this guy's voice sounds like because I've never seen the show. So you're right, I did call for Megatron. You're right, good call, William. I did call for Megatron, but I forgot to say which one. Well done. Good call. 3 Megatrons, that will never do. I alone should be the supreme power, whatever universe I find myself in. You will do my bidding, Megatron. Is that understood? Of course, Megatron. I know my place. Yes, as do I. Not. If we are truly born to rule, then we must all know that this can never work. Why even bother with the pretense? A power struggle, then? Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this is inevitable. No, we can make this work. Trust me. I like this new Megatron. He's as two-faced as me. I think I may have just found a new ally. Megatrons? This triumvirate of evil must fall. Face me in battle. Very cool, very cool. I hadn't actually seen that one before. Armada Megatron sounds like Beast Wars Megatron? Oh, well, and I had a great Beast Wars Megatron voice there. Or at least I thought it was great. I don't know what you guys might think. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. I was totally not expecting to see that. But man, I still can't get over the fact that I did call for a Megatron. Oh man, good call there. All right, so do we have any replays in here? Did we get any replays? Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, I didn't ask anybody to share replays, but a lot of times we get them in there. Oh, I do want to show this because I was pretty excited to see this. I got a defense replay I want to show you guys off. And look at this team that came in. It's almost 18,000 power, and I cannot believe this, but I actually won this base. Or won this defense. So this was actually pretty cool. I just got to show this off. It's nothing against who went in there. It's just honestly, I'm surprised that my base is this strong. So, but I mean, he sent in his top team. We got a Deathsaurus coming in here with 3,000 bot power on one bot, and he's got Megatron. And oh man, I could not believe this. When I saw the team that he dropped, I was like, no way, I'm winning this. No way. Whew. He's saying I need to call for Snarl, Rustdust, and Rodimus next week? Oh, no doubt, man. But see, here's the problem, though. I'm going to call for Rodimus, and I'll end up probably getting a duplicate Hot Rod. Alright, so he comes in. He's dropping Deathsaurus. He's going to take out the build body. He's like, yeah, that tactic doesn't work on me. So look at him. He goes and rushes over there. Man, he just takes out a lot of the base. And I mean, he's taking like dealing almost 2,500 damage, and he's just leveling my base. I see him send that Deathsaurus across an eye. I'm like, there is no way I am winning this. There's no way. But look at that. Star Saber came out and got all these guys right at the very beginning, and stunned them, helped deal a little bit of damage to them. They even had Shockwave in there. They had a healer in there. I must have got some damage done on him. Deathsaurus also bit the bullet. They sacrificed him to try to help weaken the base, but he left a lot standing. There's a couple of mortars. Well, there was a missile launcher, but Starscream just took that out. And both of my beam lasers are untouched, though, and that is key. So we had Jumpstream and the Strafes up in there. Hound was dealing some damage. And we've got all the auto cannons in there. The mortars are really leveling it down. This little kill zone I got here is actually doing pretty good. He sent Tantrum in there. He's dealing some damage to my beam lasers there. But you know what? That reflective shield doesn't last forever, though, does it? So, I didn't even notice the first time I watched this. But look at that. My headquarters has got its beam trained on him, or it did for a second there. There it is. Look at that. Even the headquarters has a beam on him. And see, everybody else is already down. All he's got left is Megatron, and I still got all these beams up. There's no way. that my little kill box down there in the center actually did its job. So that was actually pretty cool, seeing that headquarters defense actually working there. That was pretty cool. Didn't even see that the first time around. I'm not bragging. I just, I've lost the last few defenses because, man, I'm clearly in zone 13, and these guys, coming in, they've got bases, they've got bots that I can only drool and only dream of. It's pretty cool. Razer Quake says he's got a replay. We've got we got a Elita 1 replay. Let's go ahead and go take a look at that. Superion saying engineer Hoist superior, Decepticons inferior. Yeah, for one time, we'll go with that. Jake says he's going to rearrange his base like mine. Well, let me tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you, my base is probably not the strongest layout. I've just got very strong defenses. They're all headquarters level 15 level. So if your defenses are a little weak, it may not be the best. So give it a try. But if you start losing a lot, definitely always, anytime you get attacked, look and see what worked and what didn't. Yeah, we got Elita 1, and she went in there. That was a pretty nice double tap when she first came in there. Took out that defense pretty quick, and now she seems to be getting distracted by Megatron and this mortar. Fortunately, she got close enough to that mortar that it stopped targeting her. And she took out Megatron, and it looks like that mortar's about done. Build bot, yeah, nothing. And now she's on the headquarters, and it looks like the defenses are going to be far enough away from her that they're not going to bother her. So we're just going to go ahead and fast forward this headquarters pummeling. Nice Elita 1 solo there. All right. And that I tell you what, I love that little that staff that they gave her in this game. Makes me wish that I had one for the toy. But they didn't make one. We may see a third-party company, or maybe even somebody on like the Shapeways. They do the 3D printing. We may see somebody do something like that, and But I'd love to see that. But unfortunately, she doesn't come with one in the toy. But that would be cool because I really do like that additional one. Oh, we got another one from Optimus Gamer. Let's see what he's got there. And Superion saying what makes a good combo. Elita 1's ability. Oops, let's move through that. Elita 1's ability, using it twice, even if it's level 4 or above, it can destroy most of the defenses together and pair it up with Superion's ability. Right. So yeah, you could actually use kind of like what Razorquake did there. You take it in, especially if the defenses are all grouped together. Like I tell everybody, don't group the defenses together because Jazz will get it. And now we can see Elita 1's another one that'll actually be going after it. So when you group your defenses together, because see, like we're not bringing Elita 1 in here, but like where he just shot that, the mortar and the couple of cannons and all that stuff. When you have a group together like that, if Elita 1 were to go in there double tap, it would have cleared pretty much all the defenses for that base. So it's a fine line because you don't want to have it too spread out that your attackers don't have to attack your entire base. Because the worst thing you want to see is if somebody destroys your base, leaving half of your defenses untouched and they never fire a shot. If you've got that going on, that means you need to really bring your base defenses in close together. But at the same time, you don't want to have them so close together that a single shot from somebody like Jazz or Air Raid or Elita 1 can take out your entire defensive strategy, you know? So, we're down to just Alpha Bravo. Is he going to be able to make it? He's not even paying attention to headquarters right now. He's just looking at that Ore 13 harvester. Oh, now we're on the Ore 13 storage. What's he going to do? Is he going to be able to get that without staying out of the way? Oh, good. He had enough ability points. He took out the beam laser, but he's still distracted by all this other stuff. Now he's on the headquarters. And now I can see why he titled the name of this attack Close. Because that was a close one. Good call. Oh, is it all gunners? I didn't even notice that. I was too busy preaching about base design. You got a glitch where Optimus and Bumblebee were driving laps around your base. That would be pretty funny to see, because I know when you look at them, you know, they tend to walk around, and I love the little bit where one of the flying bots just kind of flies in from the side, just running really fast. I'm sure that's probably a glitch, but I hope they never fix that glitch because it cracks me up every time that I see that. All right, so. Who was it who wanted me to look at the base? I think it was, yeah, there we go. Razer Quake wanted me to look at his base. Let me go. And, where is he? Alright, so we're going to go take a look at Razer Quake. Did we look at your base before? Did you reconfigure it? Alright, is the new power core perfect for Grimlock or Gnaw? Gnaw might be a good one, because when he put, I wouldn't say Grimlock. I mean, he does a lot of damage, but I don't. He might be a good one. But Gnaw actually, when he sends out his chomp, 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 and sends out those extra Sharkticons, they actually do a lot of extra damage. I probably wouldn't put it on Grimlock, but you never know. That might actually be good. I might be totally wrong. Alright, so we're taking a look at Razer Quake's base here, and so he's got a nice spread on your mortars there. I don't think one shot could really get them all. What I'm seeing, though, is this little cannon out here may actually not do a whole lot of things sometimes, because if somebody comes in from this way, they're going to drop over here. They're going to head over towards your combiner lab, and they do have to go through all this other stuff, but they'll probably get to about right here, and then it'll break off over to your shock tower. So they'll be using their abilities to take out this stuff over here, and this cannon, and possibly even that cannon, might not even even fire a single shot. So you might just think about bringing this cannon back in here somewhere, in this empty space between the laser turret and the shock tower. And since you've opened up everything, actually, might even think about moving your high value abilities like your research lab, your space bridge, your combiner lab, even your power core lab, because it's two abilities for a power core lab and 3 abilities for each of the other ones. If you're not going to move your headquarters all the way back to the corner, you might think about moving all those things back to the corner behind the headquarters. That's fewer ability points for your attackers to get, so that's fewer abilities that they can actually use on you. So that's probably what I would suggest right now. Base design is always evolving. It's always evolving. You always just kind of got to look at it. When you're looking at your base design, when you get attacked, look at how they beat you. Especially the most valuable replays are the defenses that you lose. Speaking of which, how about we take a look at one that I lost? I showed off the one that I won. How about we show off one that I lost? Let's see. This guy, 2 minutes. This guy beat me in a minute 47 seconds. Okay, well, yeah, well, he brought in like five stars. This guy brought in no 5 stars, and his squad power is actually less than the other guy, yet he still beat me. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what I could improve on based on this guy. Based on his attack. I don't even remember how he attacked. This was a little while ago. So, Chris Shepard's asking, do I have all the 4-star bots for Victorion? No, I'm missing Rust Dust. I have all the other 4 stars, but I only have a 3-star Rust Dust. So, I'm going to be, hopefully they'll be putting out a bundle for the Rust Renegades and the Stunticons next weekend. I have a feeling they will. Alright, so we get in here, and a lot of gunners, and also, let's see, we've got Hook and reflectors, so 2 healers. Oh, and somebody's got a Micronus core going, so they've got a lot of healing going on. And I have noticed that trend. When I get beat, it tends to be people who send in multiple healers, because every bit of damage that I do for the bots, they just don't die because they keep getting healed. And I think Mixmaster has gone and cleared out a big portion of my base because, like I say, don't group your defenses together. Mine are kind of grouped together where Mixmaster can get them. So that's one of the things I say is try to keep them spread out. That's why I said caution against copying my base, because I do lose a fair amount. So it's not the best design, is what I'm saying. So you can see all I've got left, and again, I'm not practicing what I preach because I've got these 2 laser turrets on either side over there, and they're not doing a bit of help right now. And the gunners, they're all going to come close. The laser turrets aren't even going to touch the gunners, and my headquarters is doing a little bit of work, but it's over. They completely destroyed my base. Because it was not set up to defend against this type of an attack. As strong as it was, of course, this guy's from. If you look, he's from the DJD, which is one of the top Decepticon alliances. So, I get attacked by a lot of strong players. So, all right. So, no, I'm not going to buy that bundle right now. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. But I really do appreciate everybody coming. Let's see. Sharksy is saying, don't do the honeycombs. Yeah, there was a time when those honeycombs, if you don't know what he's talking about, that's where you basically you place your defenses in certain areas and then you just wrap them in walls. And it's just basically big circles around the defenses. If your walls are really, really high, I'm talking like level 14, level 15, level 16 walls, that might be effective against, unless somebody comes in with a super strong team. I mean, but if you notice, a lot of the top players don't do that anymore. The idea behind that was you put those in there in the front, keep your headquarters way in the back, and you put all your defenses and everything in the front. And it was called a time trap base, and people would actually be attacking, and it would take a long time to break through the walls, and then also the defenses would be getting on them. And meanwhile, your headquarters is way in the back, untouched. Well, since they released Cup and Dead End, you just orbital bounce right around all of that, and you go and destroy the headquarters, and none of their defenses even managed to fire a shot. So that type of stuff doesn't really work anymore. I have noticed some people moving them back a little bit farther, but now you got Slog or Straxus on the Decepticon side who do heavy damage to walls. So it's not the unbeatable type of a base design as it used to be. Conal Novak is, do I have any of the Combiner Wars G2 inspired combiners? Actually, I do. I have the G2 Menasor. I saw him on sale a little while ago when shortly after, as Combiner Wars was winding down. I found him for about half price. Didn't find anybody else though. I wasn't even really looking for him, but I was feeling that itch, because I hadn't gotten any new Transformers in a while. I was like, hey, yeah, okay, I can. So I have an addiction, people. A plastic addiction. That's why we jokingly title Facebook groups and web pages Transformers Addicts and Transformers Earth Wars Addicts, but it's not too far off. It's pretty descriptive. Oh, you got a G2 Superion and Bruticus. Yeah, that Bruticus is actually pretty wild, and Superion's pretty cool. The G2 version of it. Blur versus Ripper Snapper when they come. That would be interesting. Ripper Snapper will definitely be coming. I don't know if I have the new Ripper Snapper. I'm not sure where he is. Yeah, give me a second. Let's go ahead and go over here. There's Ripper Snapper with his armor. Now I've got him on there. Just this is the hand version, the hand for him, and I gotta tell you, this is a little. I'm not a big fan of this. I just kind of had that plugged in there so I keep it with him. But so there's Ripper Snapper, and I gotta tell you, I really love this guy. I wish there was something a little more you could do with these little claws when he's in robot mode. But otherwise, he's actually really cool. And definitely a good one. And considering that we actually have Abominus in the game, and we're going to be seeing this guy at some point showing up in the game. They haven't announced it. There's no plans for it. But if we've got Abominus, we've got one of the Terracons, we're going to get the rest of the Terracons so we can get... did I say Abominus? I meant Hunger. So yeah, we're going to get Abominus is going to be one of the next Decepticon combiners. Actually, very well could be the next one, because I'm not sure if there's any others out there that could be formed. So, Springer is a good companion for Cup. Williams says, yes, I agree. If you get Cup bounced around, you can use Springer and his healing ability, which is a very large range, and you'll send him out there so you can have a two-man team going attacking the headquarters. You could even drop any other healer too, because if you can get Cup up towards the headquarters and you drop the healer is going to run up to Cup. You just kind of got to be careful not to where their outposts are, because if you drop them and it's near an outpost, you could accidentally pop open an outpost bot, and if it's a particularly strong outpost bot, it might cause problems for you. Let's see. William says, card shop used to go out of business card that said Magic the Gathering drugs would be cheaper. Oh man. Yeah. Probably funny. Which combiner do I think is next? Victorion and Menasor will be next. Because they're not out yet, so those are going to be the ones that are next. I know that's not what you were asking. Which one after those guys? Well, I already kind of touched on it. You know, with Hunger in the game and in the toy line, the rest of the Terracons, because we are getting the entire Terracon team to form Abominus. We will get the an Abominus. So I'm pretty certain that we'll be seeing Abominus in the game as a Decepticon combiner. Now, as far as Autobots go, I'm going to say Defensor, because we have Hotspot and we've got First Aid already. So we'd have to bring in Streetwise and Blades and Groove. My guess is we probably would be seeing a... even though the Defensor and Combiner Wars had Rook and had Groove as a chess minion, very much like Victorion over here. In fact, this is a very... You know, the whole torso here was very much based on the Defensor. What I think they might do is they might actually, because they did release a Groove in the deluxe size to make a more standard Defensor as a 5-bot combiner. That way you don't have because Abominus is almost certainly going to be a 5-bot combiner. With Hunger, Ripper Snapper, Center Twin, they might be calling him Twin Strike. I'm not sure what they ended up on that. Blot and Cutthroat, or I'm not sure what they... I don't know. Those were the original names. I don't know if they'll have all the original names for them. But so Abominus was just a 5-bot combiner. Defensor, I think they would make a 5-bot combiner by leaving out Rook and using a deluxe size Groove as one of the limbs. So Computron and Galvatronus as the next bots. Well, here's the thing. There's no bots for Computron in the game right now. None of them. But we've already got 2 bots towards Defensor. That's why I would think Defensor would be the next one. I mean, we're probably looking months and months and months away, at least 6 months, because we don't have all of the bots for either of the combiners, unless they did try to do something like, say, Skyrain, where Skylynx was the central combiner, but the torso. But they already did. Excuse me, I already did kind of a weird one with Optimus Maximus and you know, not a weird one, a non-standard one, not based on a G1 bot. So I would think that we'd be looking more at Defensor and Abominus as the next ones. So, but again, that's purely speculation based on the bots that we've already seen in the game, and it's going to be quite a long ways away. Because we're just now getting Victorion and Menasor, and we got to get these guys in the game, the guy and lady, I guess, in the game, so people can use them and get them leveled up, and so we'll be talking more about those other combiners, I'm sure, in a few months. So. Alright, and yes, that's a good point, Tyler. If they were to add Computron, one of the bots in Computron is actually named Strafe. So they would actually go around to, they would go ahead and have to change who we're calling Strafe now back to his original name of Swoop. Which apparently they totally can do because the new toy that came out was actually called Swoop. They lost, apparently Hasbro lost the trademark for a little while, and that's why they had to be called Strafe, like in the Transformers Age of Extinction movie, and of course that has followed the name of that character into this game as Strafe. But they would have to give him back his name Swoop to match the new toy that just came out, as if they were to bring in the Technobots. And don't get me wrong, I would love to see that. I love the Technobots. That was actually the only combiner I was able to complete as a kid. Scattershot and Strafe and Lightspeed and Afterburner and Nosecone were the 5. I'm going to be hopping off here. I see the calls for an Optimus Maximus battle, but we're going to be hopping off here. So I do appreciate everybody joining into the stream, but I hit the wrong button. All right. If you haven't, if you want to see any more of my videos coming up, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications so you can see when I go live or post a new video. I also have a playlist up there so you can watch any of my past videos. And if you want to join in on the discussion, go ahead and click the link over to our Non-Toxic Gamers band channel. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. Thanks for watching.